The Pope? He is the Emperor of Rome. Rome never died, never faded away. It became the Vatican. What is the Vatican? It is the priesthood of all of the old pagan religions of Rome, built upon the deception that they are Christian. Can man change the orders of God? Can man elevate himself above God? No. Then why did the Pope change the Sabbath from Saturday to Sunday, the venerable day of the worship of the sun Osiris? Why in the outer courtyard of the Vatican is there a temple of the sun, an obelisk, and a reflecting pool built as a fountain around the base of the obelisk? Because what we're talking about in Dealey Plaza and in Washington, D.C. exists also in the Vatican. And I'm not trying to insult Catholics, I'm just trying to tell you the truth. Who is the Pope?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Burn the Corporate Fiction. Yes, I see StreamYard has me over on the side again. It's so annoying. But anyway, I hope everyone's doing well this evening. I showed that little video, actually, because that's kind of what I'm going to get into. We're going to talk about some psychological operations taking place. The great noticing continues, obviously. But what people need to notice is that the small hats aren't just the small hats that we know of. And I'm going to call them small hats till we head over to Rumble here in about a half hour. The link is in the description, by the way, to get to the Rumble live stream, so that once we cut over there and we can actually speak openly, freely, and uncensored about this situation. But those small hats also hijacked the Christian movement. They openly admit it. I'm going to show you guys a video of a rabbi actually talking about how Catholicism was engineered, the Holy Roman Empire was engineered by small hats. And you can see it. A lot of the cardinals wear small hats. They have the same exact setup. And what Bill Cooper was just showing there was that the small hats are actually an ancient Babylonian cult who were never Israelites. They were actually the Canaanites, the ancient Babylonians, the pirates, right? So the ones who tried to essentially create a legalese Tower of Babel out of their black magic use of language to enslave people by turning them to property and then administering them, right? They're the first creators of coin and currency, the builder of cities, right? The descendants, the bloodline of Cain. So we're going to get into that. We're going to get into this this recent mass unaliving event in Minnesota. We're going to talk about that. I got some interesting information on that. It was 100%. Well, we're not going to talk about it. YouTube's been shooting people's channels down. We're talking about it's another reason we're going to head over there. And then we're going to talk about how the MAGA cult has been cucked out, just entirely cucked out. They're rooting for martial law. They, Trump ran on a policy of getting rid of illegal immigration, right, and building strong borders and all that stuff, which is what mostly MAGA voted for. And then now he's importing 500,000 Chinese students every year, which not only are they immigrants, but they're also immigrants coming from a country who is adversarially opposed to us and our interests, and will absolutely be sending agents over here disguised as students to do God knows what. But Trump is piecemealing out the entire country to foreign investors. Japan, he went on this big spree where he was like, oh, I just secured $1 trillion deal today. I got a $500 billion deal today. I got the, hundreds of billions of dollars. Well, all these are from foreign investors, Qatar, Japan, China, you name it, right? All of these foreign countries who are not aligned with our culture, and they're buying up entire swaths of United States manufacturing. So we're basically getting parceled out by the billionaires that run this country. And most importantly, we're getting parceled out to tech oligarchs as well. But before I get into that, let me say hi to those of you that have made it so far. We have, go all the way to the top here. We've got Pat, good to see you. Here I am. John O'Faz says to be waiting in Rumble. Bad Dog. He says, is this about money? Well, it's about money, exploitation, it's psychological operations. It's a little bit of all of it. Yeah, everything that goes with the small hat. Eldon Bean, good to see you. We got Mass One, Yaha, Yo Mama. Yeah, with small hats we lose. Exactly. Let's see here. What else we got? Say what? Good to see you. Chicago Cubby Bear. You're always more than welcome up as well, if you want, Chicago. So, and we got the True Few. So good to see everybody here. And backstage, we have my father, Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind, aka Dave. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
There we go. Now I fixed it. I do not. Does StreamYard start you out on the side like that? It's
No, I
annoying.
don't think so.
I know they're fucking with me. Not really sure why. But anyway, so where to start? Well, I think I know where we'll start. We'll start with before we actually go into the mass unaliving. This is part of the psychological operation. Obviously, the dude pretending to be a chick. If that's even true, we're gonna look into some of that stuff. I found some interesting information on an obscure WordPress. Hold on, we got Mojo Shop. What's going on, Mojo? How you doing?
Hey guys, thought I'd jump in and join tonight. How's all going good today?
Good.
How's your ribs?
99%.
Excellent, man. So
How y'all doing?
I'm good. I'm gonna say, so this obviously there's a bunch of anti-Semitism in his journal. Just coincidentally uploads a manifesto. They always have a manifesto, right? This is your number one indication of some sort of bullshit going on, right? There's a manifesto. In the manifesto is a bunch of anti-Semitic hate speech, and yeah, it's pretty much, and then a bunch of anti-Trump stuff. So if I was to, and I'm not really going to go into it too much, but or until we go to Rumble, then we're going to go way into it because we can there, right?
There's always a manifesto. Come on, man.
Always,
that's how you know the shit's set up. There's always a manifesto.
And obviously,
half of them don't look like they're bright enough to even know how to spell the word manifesto, much less make one. Come on.
And obviously, the first aspect of it is going to be the gun grab, right? That's always with the gun grab. That's why I just did that short on the Hegelian dialectic. I hope you guys seem to be liking that one. But this is just another example. It's thesis, antithesis, synthesis, problem, reaction, solution. Hey, we're going to pull at the heartstrings and get the younglings, and everybody's going to have the rallying cry of take the guns, all that stuff, right? And then they've already got legislation waiting in the wings. Of course, it's actually an attack on Christianity as well. But I want to show this little tidbit of information I found that about the FBI hiding statistics when it comes to firearms. Actually, check this out.
This is freaking huge. Armed citizens stopped 48% of all criminal shooters last year. And the FBI was just caught massively lying about those numbers in their public reports. They recorded, get this, none of them. 0%. Now, you and I and everyone else have seen those local heroes on social media, but rarely do we ever see these stories in mainstream media. Well, the script is about to flip because a new study by the Crime Prevention Research Center reveals that armed civilians stopped over 1/3 of active criminal shooters between 2014 and 2024, nearly 10 times higher than FBI's reported 3.7% average. And again,
That's
with
wild.
even more Americans getting armed post 2020, just last year alone in 2024, civilians stopped half of all criminal shooters. Yet, as I just stated, the FBI recorded 0 of them. You might be asking, how is this possible? Well, while digging for the study, researchers found that police were often falsely credited instead of the armed civilians, which is a recording pattern that clearly increased last 10 years. Now, this begs the question, why would they work so hard to hide the significant benefits of an armed public?
Doesn't take a rocket scientist to know why they did that. But yeah, and you see it all the time. I see videos all the time of Good Samaritans stopping some lunatic, and so that brings me to this point is like, you've got Trump, you've got MAGA applauding the martial law situation that's going on in DC. And has he deployed in the other cities yet? I don't know. He's bragging about how he's geared to
New York, going to go to New York, Chicago,
and these these people are just applauding this, right? And they're going, and the FBI is bragging about how, oh, we got, some legal guns. And, you got to think the Republican Party used to be the party that said there's no such thing as an illegal gun, which I agree, right? So unless it's evidence for a crime that's being used in trial or whatever, there's no such thing as an illegal gun, right? But all this British law registration, which is actually Roman civil law, forcing you to register your property so you convey the controlling interest of the state, they consider an unregistered firearm to be illegal, right? Well, what is illegal is not necessarily unlawful, and what's legal is not lawful. We all know this. So, but yeah, they're bragging about this, and look how safe DC is now. Look how safe DC is. Listen to this guy. This guy's sitting here just loving it, bragging about it. And I'll give you my solution, because I'm sure some of you are like, well, yeah, it is safer now, right? Well, I'll tell you what, if you stopped legislating against the Second Amendment and enculturated, like we had at one time, the love and healthy respect for firearms that this country was founded on, right? Then you would have a lot less crime. I'll tell you what, the areas with the most lax gun laws, without any gun laws, have the lowest crime rates, period. And the places with the highest amount of gun laws, the most extreme gun laws, are the most dangerous places. Why? Because nobody can protect themselves, and the criminals know that. And this is an argument people have heard many, many times. But here, check this out. Oh, we got Cubby Bear with us too. What's going on, Cubby?
Hey, good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
FBI, DEA, ICE, it's all that outside in Washington, D.C. I don't even got it over my shoulder no more. I'm walking around with this shit. I ain't hiding none of this shit. I'm walking blocks with this motherfucker. Listen, jump out on me if you want. I'm going to scream. They're going to be here in 33 seconds. As soon as you talking about, get that shit up. Ah! They going to help the shit out of me. Y'all niggas jump out of y'all want. Good God almighty, boy. I got some motherfucking help. Some backup. Wherever you jump out, I'm going to blow your ass. Look, they right here. Look. They outside. Oh, God almighty. I could just scream. They going to help me. FBI.
Yeah.
DEA.
So look at that guy. Just absolutely just eating it up, right? It's the people that need protection from daddy government that are loving this, right? They don't realize the precedent that it's setting, right? Having the military being deployed domestically within the cities to stamp out an emergency, a crime emergency, right? This could easily be, this is to enculturate dependency and infancy. It's the whole thing of daddy government taking care of you like you're a little infant. Daddy government, daddy Trump's going to send in the soldiers to protect you, right? And listen to this guy. He said, scream, right? They got my back. They're right here. Look at. There's a ICE and FBI and the National Guard. And it's like he's a super statist, just got the whole boot in his mouth. What do you guys think?
It makes you wonder. Go ahead, Mojo. I thought you were about to say something.
I was just going to add that these people who are television watching news believers thinking TV means truth verified or something.
Right.
Yep. I was just thinking about like that infrastructure bill they passed a few years ago. It makes you wonder what it was all about, right? Probably just putting infrastructure in place to put up new towers and AI and everything to keep an eye on us, daddy government, right?
Well, exactly. And
no roads were built.
Do you guys remember back in 2015 they ran an exercise called Jade Helm?
Yeah.
Right. It was like joint application for defense and employment of homeland extraction of. So it was a local militants or something like that. But anyways, the Jade Helm, it was for us. And it was the largest special forces exercise ever deployed on American soil in history. And they moved people all over the country. I remember when it was going on. So does my dad. Him and I were talking about it while it was going on. And they were shipping tanks and helicopters and all sorts of munitions by railway all across the country, just totally reorganizing their chess pieces while the American public's looking around going like, what the hell's going on? Oh, don't worry, it's just an exercise. They weren't even officially talking about it. And they were deploying in cities and working with the police, going door to door, knocking on people's doors, asking them if they had guns, doing raids on empty warehouses and buildings with the military and police together. All right. So what do we think that was all for? Well, I think we're starting to see. Some people think that he's going to actually cancel the elections. I don't know if he'll go that far.
If he
But
lives.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what you were saying. Something about him not doing so well, huh?
Not doing well
Yeah.
at all. He's got ankles the size of his thighs. He's got big old bruises on the back of his hands. I mean, this is all pointing to congestive heart failure. The things that are occurring with him. He's really saying some bizarre shit that has nothing to do with anything, too. He's getting that dementia bullshit going on. Because he'll just like out of the blue say some shit that ain't got nothing to do with what the hell they're talking about. I don't think he's gonna. I'm gonna say it. He's gonna die before his term's up. He's gonna die. And then they're gonna plug J.D. Vance in there, who's Peter Thiel's little fuck toy.
Palantir.
His pet, yeah, for sure. And they're handing everything over to Palantir. You guys don't see it, but I sound the alarm and I squawk my head off about it all the time, that they're trying to trap you into and I hate the term straw man, but it's what most people recognize. I call it an LEI. It's the legal entity identification, right? It's the trustee. And they're trying to lock you into that permanently. They want to integrate it with your physical biology and eliminate due process, right? By handing everything over to AI governance so that there is no chance to challenge jurisdiction. You don't get to challenge whether or not the revenue codes, right, like the motor vehicle code and all that, apply to you, whether or not you've corrected your status. None of that is going to be possible once they integrate this technology, this nanotechnology inside of you, and hand everything over to the AI governance. As soon as you jaywalk, boom, they're going to deduct money from your bank account. Right, all your shit's going to be hooked up to one app. You're not going to have a cell phone. You're going to be your cell phone, right? If you let them.
You're going to be on universal basic income or whatever it's
UBI.
called. UBI, yeah.
Yep, 100%. No question. So, and it's funny because nobody sees there's not a damn thing Trump promised he was going to do that he's actually done, other than make the United States, the wealthy people of the United States, a bunch of money by parceling it out to foreign interests. Well, part of that parceling out to foreign interest caused him to go against one of his other campaign promises, which was to eliminate illegal immigration, right? Well, check this out. And for those of you who may just be joining, if you think I'm a Democrat, I'm very, very conservative, traditional type of guy. I just don't subscribe to either party at all. And they're two legs of the same person kicking you in the balls or ovaries every 4 years, right? 2 to 4 years.
Democulans and Republicrats.
That's it. That's it.
Why I'm a political atheist.
That's kind of why I don't believe, like, it almost has to be a Democrat that's going to be president again, right? Because that's the way it goes every time, flips back and forth. Has anybody lived a lifetime where that hasn't happened?
Well, and this is the whole reality of it. I'm sure I said this to Ryan the other night. I said, you've watched the Tom and Jerry show. Little cat and a mouse, right? And the whole reason that Tom never kills Jerry is because if he does, the show's over. Well, it's for that very reason why nobody ever gets anything fixed on either party. Because if they did, then the show's over.
Yeah.
You see?
Exactly. Yep. No, and that's it's like BOB says, you got the Democrats and Republicans. That's what it's the same thing. They divide everything, they polarize everything, and that's the thesis, antithesis. And then they play the two sides against each other to create a synthesis of what they actually want to accomplish, which is enslaving you. Make no mistake, these people look at you as property. They're reduced you to
representatives. They're not representing you.
No.
They're representing the corporation, and they're there to figure out how to take more of your shit. That's all their job is.
That's it. And most importantly, see, wealthy people, especially, I'm not talking about your couple $1 million type people, right? I'm talking about your wealthy people. Your generational wealth, you couldn't spend this money in one lifetime type of wealthy, right? Well, these people, they've got it all. There's nothing left for them, right? Nothing excites them anymore. And I know this for a fact. I know wealthy people like this. what excites them now is mastering the human domain of conquering mankind. Man has always wanted to enslave the world, and nothing has changed. Man has always tried to conquer the world. Nothing has changed. They didn't stop wanting to conquer the world. They're still very much trying to enslave you and lock you into slavery. They don't view you as an equal. They don't think you're even part of mankind. You're a beast. You're subject to your base desires. That's how they look at you. And you deserve to be ruled, owned, right? You exist for their pleasure. That's how these people look at you. I promise you that's how they look at you. But look, this is
And
what,
I've always said they don't need the money. Obviously, they don't want our money, that they're taking in all the fees and fines and everything. They don't need or want it. They just don't want us to have any money.
Yep.
yeah, it's because now what's left for them but control. They have everything they could want except for control over you. The most valuable resource in the world that man has always wanted to capture and capitalize is man. That's it. We're the most valuable resource in the world. And
the only infrastructure they put in place are the people that they're grooming to take these dinosaur spots in Washington all over, just like the WEF. That's what they do. They get all these people in place to be the next leader. They run these psyops. That's what a lot of these wars are about. They run these psyops, and then they put in their puppets as leaders, install them as leaders in these other countries and stuff. And then if you listen to that, like Noval Harari or whatever his name is, that little weasel, and then Jared Kushner, they openly say, "I want to live forever." It's like, yeah, you probably do, don't you?
God, I don't understand that either. After a while, it's like, here I am 60. I'm going, okay, I don't have a problem with having less in front of me than I have behind me. I don't want to stay here forever. And it's getting worse. I'm ready.
God gave us a specific time for a reason, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think these people are stuck here forever.
Yeah, they are.
That's what I think. I think that's why they want to master. That's why they want to completely control this domain. And I think that's also why they want to make it so they can live forever too, because they know they got nothing coming when they die. They've got nothing good coming towards them. So we are going to be going to Rumble here in about 5 minutes or so. I'm going to show another couple clips that I can show on YouTube, but then we're going for some uncensored discussion about the small hat psyops taking place. Coincidentally, it's both groups of small hats. It's the small hats, which we all know and love, and then it's the other small hats that nobody realizes are small hats, that being the government of the Catholic Church. They've long since hijacked the Catholic Church. In my opinion, that St. Paul in the first place was a Roman agent and hijacked the Catholic Church from the beginning, or the Christian Church from the beginning, but that's just my opinion. Because yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but here's Trump telling you about how he's making good on his campaign promise, getting rid of illegal immigration. Check this out. Oh wait, no, he's not.
Students coming in from other countries. That includes China, and we have 500,000 Chinese students coming in. I've always been in favor of it. Does it mean that you have to watch people? Yeah, you have to watch students, but you have to watch other people also. I've always been strongly in favor of it. I think it's a great thing. It's good for our schools. I think it's good for our country. I'm also in favor of having them stay. I've been in favor of letting them stay. If you get educated for 4 years, you're willing to get educated for 4 years. I like people being able to stay. They have some great students. You have some. I've always been in favor of.
And listen to those stupid ass people clapping. Not very many people, but they're clapping, right? So why do you guys figure that he's doing that? Why do you think he's allowing in 500,000 Chinese students?
Probably sleeper cells, man.
For sure,
everything is Luciferian, man. So when this guy tells me that he's America first, that means that he's not. Because everything that they do is the opposite of what they say it is. Everything.
Well, that's true. It's definitely not America first. It's the international oligarchy first with all of them. That's who they, as I say, they're all working. There's two different teams going on here, and they're both vying to be the top dog under the new world, or over the new world order, but they're still working towards the same goal. They work in tandem towards the same goal. They just bicker with each other, infighting, and who's going to be top. Is it going to be the commies or the fascists? Well, the fascists are winning now. Okay, he represents the fascists. The commies, we've seen that was Kamala and Biden. That's communism. That's Obama. Obama's a communist. They're all openly communists. They tell you, right, that this is what, like that Mamdani guy in New York or whatever his name is, that Zohan Mamdani, however you say his name.
Mayor.
He's openly a communist. He's part of the what do they call the Socialist Party of America? Yeah, but he's that's just euphemism for communism.
Right.
And the reason I think that Trump's doing this, though, is because it is the fascism, which is the corporations owning and controlling the government, a corporate oligarchy owning and controlling the government. I think that he's bringing in these students because for the tech bros, for Peter Thiel, for Elon Musk, for Palantir, for OpenAI, for all these tech billionaires, because when they get these H-1B visa people over here, first of all, they're way cheaper to hire. And second of all, they're easily controlled because their stay here is tied to their employment. So if they don't do what the employer says and they get fired for any reason, they go right back to the gulag in China, right? So they'll do whatever these people want. But mostly these people also know how to set up communism, okay? Because they come from China. And they want these Chinese people to be running or programming the AI governance to have it set up just like fucking China. That's what I think. But look, he's not done yet. It was 500,000. Now check this out. This is as of, when was this? August 25th. Look at this. He's not quite finished. Oh yeah.
President Xi would like me to come to China. It's a very important relationship. As you know, we're taking a lot of money in from China because of the tariffs and different things. And it's a very important relationship. We're going to get along good with China. I hear so many stories about we're not going to allow their students, or we're going to allow their students to come in. We're going to allow, it's very important, 600,000 students. It's very important. But we're going to get along with China. But it's a different relationship that we have now with China. It's a much better relationship economically than it was before. With Biden, boy, what he allowed that, I mean, they just took him to the cleaners, President Xi would like.
They just took him to the cleaners, didn't they? But now you're bringing in 600,000 students. So it went from 500,000 to 600,000 students. Now you guys like that shit. But all right. So check it out. We're heading over to Rumble right now so we can get this thing started and actually say what we really want to say. So if you guys have a Rumble account, then just click the link in the description, take you right over to the Rumble stream. If you don't have a Rumble account, you should make one because you can say what you want over there. And, we do this every so often. We go over and do Rumble exclusive. So if you guys head on over to that stream and we'll meet you over there. Let's go ahead and close down this small hat too.
Hang on.